and thank you for tuning in. Today, we're going to be looking at Celsius token today, and um, this is not so much about the price. This is about just the recent kerfuffle with Celsius token. I mean, if you use the app, you would have known that for the past couple days, there was front end issues, um, and you can find more information on it on Reddit and as well as their Twitter. You would have also received an email from them in regards to that, and I'm not here to say like this is a rug pull or anything. This is probably not a rug pull. However, you could say it's arguably negligence on their part, and and companies always like there's always going to be times, whether it's Celsius or even outside of the crypto network. I mean, the other day YouTube was down for a few hours, but if there are terms of negligence or bugs that greatly affect um, the system, and it happens. However, the way that they explained it um, kind of got me a little skittish, and probably more skittish than the lot of you. I'm sure your risk tolerance is a lot higher than mine, but it, you know, living in the past of ICOs and whatnot, it's kind of always in the back of your mind, and there's always the tall tale saying of not your keys, not your coins, not your Bitcoin, and that's definitely the truth. We should all be using hardware wallets, but um, and I do use a hardware wallet. However, I there are certain times when you see a company and you see their business plan and you really buy into it. I mean, that's why I bought Celsius tokens. Is I thought out of all the custodial like centralized platforms that are doing what they're doing, I thought Celsius was the best positioned, and that's why I bought theirs and not crypto.com's the MCO token or Crow or whatever it is, and or Nexo for that matter. I thought Celsius was the better positioned. So um, keep that in mind, and keep that in mind when you watch this video, because odds are this is gonna be fine. However, in everyone's situation's different. Someone who has, say, 100 cell tokens is potentially going to react differently to someone who has like 100,000 cell tokens or has $100,000 in the platform. And I'm not saying that I do have $100,000 in the platform. Uh, uh, it was a small portion of my portfolio that was in there to take advantage of the interest, because there's the other argument of like, why risk your coins for just like 6%. Well, I mean, arguably saying if you earn like 6% over the year and then we go into a bull run, then that 6% increases exponentially, and so in the end it becomes worth it. So in my position, I've already been selling my cell tokens for quite some time. Remember, I did buy um, I have the Bitcoin, like Celsius Bitcoin chart. I did buy here, and I also bought here. So I am considerably up on my position anyway. And in past videos, when I'm talking about other altcoins and why I'm not in positions of theirs, is well, I'm already in a pretty risky coin in Celsius, and I'm actually trying to de-risk my portfolio. So Celsius was one of the first tokens I've been selling like on the way up. I can't tell you what levels, but like let's say here, 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 and I think I sold here. So those areas I did sell tokens. Um, and like looking at what my portfolio was before I started selling to now, in reality, I've sold a majority of my position. So what I essentially did is, I still have like a little bit in the platform simply because there's some coins that I have in there that I didn't really care for, but they had interest, and um, essentially I didn't yet put a withdrawal whitelist in there, but they're so small that it doesn't matter to me, or I wouldn't be concerned if I lost it. Really, what my like the portion of my portfolio that was in Celsius, because of the market growing, um, did get to a point where I was a little concerned. So with that said, I essentially cleaned out my app. um, I sold another good chunk of my Celsius token, um, which I was planning to anyway. I thought it was like, I think my next level was like somewhere up here, um, but it didn't quite get to there. And I thought like this is good enough. And looking back at to it, like looking at where my position started, I'm up considerably. Like when I looked at it, I think I was up like 5 times, which not might be big for you, but it's good enough for me. And that goes back into Bitcoin, goes back into Ethereum, uh, goes into Chainlink, and Uniswap, because I wanted to increase my like start a position in Uniswap, mainly because I was holding sell tokens. So now, uh, essentially rebalancing my portfolio, I do have around an equal amount Celsius to Uniswap, essentially, and that is uh, like a good equilibrium for me. I still hold a portion of Cell tokens because, outside of what happened the past 2 days, I'm still confident in their business platform as a lending provider and as a like a custodial interest provider, let's say. And if they do get over this hump, then and do regain the confidence of certain users, because you're definitely going to find users that are really shouting to the sky that this is a scam, right? Those guys are coming out, and they're shouting at the top of their lungs, and they may be right. We don't know. Alex is a pretty eccentric dude, and he's like, if you follow his Twitter, like you'll see why, and at least he's been responding. However, looking at like my position in Celsius, it was a good time to start rebalancing because I was up considerably. I wanted to lock in those gains, and I've been locking those gains. So it's essentially this like up here was going to be one of the last um like sells for me. Like after, if it went up to this like 15,000 sat level, 16,000 sat level, then I would have ended up with the amount of sell that I have right now anyway. Um so just I'm just kind of de-risking my position. I'm not, you could say I'm panic selling. That's fine. I'm still up on my position and I'm not going to cry about it. And if Celsius goes up, it goes up. To the people who still holds like Celsius tokens or use the platform, um, you know, everyone's risk tolerance is different. Take a good long hard look at your portfolio, and understand the consequences of something like this something happens, bad happens, and you need to be okay with it. For me, the dollar value of my portfolio that was in it, I was not okay losing, um, because as I always say, anything can happen. Like the chances of Celsius going to zero, you know, no, maybe not a good chance of it going to zero, but the chances of it going to zero are never zero. So you got to ask yourself, is it okay? And when I asked that question, no, it's not. And kind of just front running. I like the app is online now, obviously, because I was able to pull out. and everyone else is pulling out. And looking at the price, it seems fine. Like uh, a part of like a little part of me was extremely concerned that this was going to go straight down, but it's holding steady at $1.90, like it was the past few days. So this is a good reminder for everyone. Not saying that Celsius is pulling the rug under you. We don't know that. I don't know that. Even the people who say they know it don't know it. Um, and this is a good reminder of understanding the consequences of providing liquidity and your money to other custodial services. Um, and considering that we are in the space that we're in, we need to be ever so vigilant about these things. I wouldn't necessarily hold Celsius to the same standards as the bank that I use. Um, uh, However, you might, and if that's the case, then you have no fear in keeping your portfolio the way it is. And I bid you the best of luck. Like I'm not telling you to sell or buy. In all honesty, I hope everyone makes good money in this run, and I honestly do, because that's what I'm trying to do. And I hope for you guys the same as well. And I think uh, everyone at some point is just so focused on the gains they don't necessarily look at the risks. And I mean, something like this is a good reminder of that. So in short, I still have a position of Celsius. That position has shrunk over the past few months. Ever since the beginning of the fall, I have been constantly selling at certain levels against Bitcoin and into Ethereum. Mind you, like we can even like we'll pull out the Ethereum chart on Hit BTC, and yeah, it's the same kind of chart. But as I said before, I've been selling along the way, and I think that's like a strategy that everyone should be adopting. Don't try to time the top. We don't know where the top is for Celsius. Could be where we are here. It could be at zero point zero 0.01 Ethereum for all we know. Um, so because we don't know the top, then it's better to lock in some profits than to see it just you know the worst kind of feeling is you like say you bought here or here and you see it go up and then it just comes back down. That's the worst feeling, and I don't wish it on anyone. And so with that in mind and some hard lessons learned myself, I've said, you know what, it's better to have earned some money on this than nothing at all, or losing it all, matter of fact. However, that's my little rant about Celsius. Looking at the Celsius charts, it really it doesn't seem too concerning. I mean, we did drop 4% on the day. However, when you look at like all the other altcoins in the market, like Ethereum dropped 4%, Chainlink also dropped. It's like 7% on the day. So there's not much concern about this. We have been range bound in this at this level. When we look at the dollar level, we have been at $1.90, essentially fluctuating 10-20 cents on to either side. Um, and uh, we're holding steady. I honestly don't think what has happened today will have any effect on the price. News generally doesn't, unless it's something cataclysmic, like say Celsius significantly changing its interest rates, for example. Because that's why everyone's in here, because of the loop, like the attractive interest rates that where the interest rate is more than you would earn by staking or providing liquidity into some pairs. Um, and you get that interest weekly. Like that's the appeal, and that's why a lot of people are buying it. And also because Celsius token is really has really risen. Okay, like keep in mind how high we've gotten here. And I'm not trying to say that this is, I'm not trying to paint that this is the top, but just take it in on how high we've gotten. Like from May of 2020 of this year to the wick, we're up 1100%. And to where, sorry, and to where we are now, we're probably like just under 1,000%. We're at 934% from May. Um, so if that doesn't give you a calling of like take some profits at least somewhere here, I don't know what will. Because if you're trying to time the top, you're gonna have a bad time. You could get lucky, but that's at that point, it's literally just gambling and literally just like rolling the roulette and betting like $1 million on black. Um, actually, you probably have a better chance of winning that bet than timing the top on Celsius. To be honest, actually thinking about it. So, looking against Bitcoin, against USD, against Ethereum, where Celsius token is holding steady. I guess we will see the aftermath of this bad news bears going on with Celsius. Currently, as this like I'm recording this video, there are some people in the world that are still unable to access the app, and now the issue is that people are still seeing that DNS server update prompt, and Celsius is now said, well, I should say Alex Mashinsky is saying that now it's because of the impact of the amount of users logging on at the same time is stressing the servers. So take it as you will. I mean, site overload happens a lot, right? Like Celsius is not the only one that's done it, um, or has that happened to. It happens to any site that where like an extreme amount of like an exorbitant amount of people come to the site at the same time. Uh, it happens, but I think like although this might not pan out to be bad, probability is that won't pan out to be bad. I thought it was a good reminder of like locking in profits, distributing the wealth of my portfolio. I wanted to increase my uh, uh, Bitcoin holdings and Ethereum holdings, and before this and even still now, Celsius has been a wild ride of a token to hold, um, and and yeah, and so in short, um, price looks to be holding. However, take a good long look at your portfolio. If you have like an extraordinary percentage of your portfolio in Celsius, um, even it is Celsius and you have a lot of trust with the custodial platform, I would strongly recommend to just spread your wealth through various wallets, because the next issue might not be Celsius's fault, right? A hack could happen, something bad could happen, and your funds are gone. And the insurance on that doesn't cover loaned out coins. So if your coins were loaned out to one of Celsius's clients or some other person, like you're not getting your money back, or I'm pretty sure you're not getting your money back, and you got to be okay with that if you are wanting to continue holding in Celsius. Um, but yeah, if you like this rant, hit the like button down below. If you didn't like it, let me know in the comments down below. Uh, I have been using Celsius, the platform, for almost a year, and I've been holding Celsius token for around the same amount of time. I'd like to listen to the ones that have been holding longer or shorter. Let me know your thoughts. Consider subscribing as well. We do, I guess at this point, daily videos on various crypto markets. But thank you for watching. I'll see you next time. Take care.